Hello, I am Dr. Chandini R. Nair. I am going to talk little points about pharmaceutical chemistry. We'll see what is pharmaceutical chemistry. Pharmaceutical chemistry can also be known as medicinal chemistry. So when we say in a simple sentence, we can say it is just the study of drugs. Okay, but when we put it in three words, this study of drugs involves lot of process. First, we should discover the drug. So when we discover the drug, we should know what is the disease, how it can be cured, what are the remedies for it. Then after the discovery, it should be checked. Its quality and quantity should be checked with the analytical techniques. Then quality assurance test should be done. Then it should be delivered to the people. So delivery, we should know where it should act, etc. Then metabolism, how it works inside the body. So these are some of the points which covers under the study of drugs. So pharmaceutical chemistry or medicinal chemistry, if you say simply, we can say it is defined as the study of drugs. Then this pharmaceutical chemistry, you can take it as an interdisciplinary science. What is meant by interdisciplinary science? Interdisciplinary science means it's combination of different science. Okay, it involves biomedical analysis, pharmacology, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, biochemistry, molecular biology, different types of chemistry, that is organic chemistry, physical, theoretical, analytical chemistry, bioinformatics, information technology, etc. Then why we have to go for drugs? The reason is that because of diseases. What is disease? A disease is a particular abnormal condition that negatively affect the structure or function of a part or all parts of an organism. Organism means here we will take a living organism. We will take an example, human beings. You know that we have different organs in us or parts in us which perform each function for us, and it will have its own structure. When the structure or function of a single part or all the parts of the body is affected, that condition only we call it as disease. For example, you take from the top, we have hair, forehead is there, nose is there, two eyes is there, then mouth is there. All this has its own function and structure will also be different. So for example, when you get some affection in the when we are affected with some abnormal condition in the nose, the function of the nose is to take in oxygen, then we can take the smell, etc. So we know it get blocked. For example, cold if you have means our nose will get blocked, so we will not able to smell things properly. Okay, so that condition is what we call it as disease. And if you technically says it is a medical condition, and that will be associated with some symptoms or signs. That is how we know that we have the diseases. It has certain symptoms or signs. Then how it is caused? It is by external factors such as pathogens. So microorganisms enter our body that can make infection inside our body, and due to that the parts will not function properly. Otherwise, internal dysfunctions. It itself, the organs will not function properly. Also, some abnormal condition arises. So a disease is a particular abnormal condition that negatively affect the structure or function of a part or all parts of an organism. Then types of disease, you can say that mainly 4 types of disease is there. One we call it as infectious disease, that is caused by microorganisms. Example, you are knowing COVID-19 disease. Then deficiency disease. Deficiency disease is caused due to inadequate supply of dietary elements. That is when we take in the food, we know that along with it some dietary elements such as minerals, vitamins, protein, etc. will go. So if the food what we take does not contain adequate supply of this, that can cause deficiency. For example, if the mineral calcium is needed for us, the food which we take doesn't contain enough amount of calcium, it can cause to calcium deficiency. Then hereditary disease, it is caused by irregularity in genetic makeup of an individual. You know, when a child is born, we ask 2 questions. First one, how much weight the child has. Second question, who he or she looks like. Why? because some characteristics of parents will be transferred to the child. So if parent is having an irregular genetic matter, then if that same genetic matter is transferred to the child will get some disease. So that disease is known as hereditary disease. Example, you can take diabetes. Then physiological disease. Physiological disease is the disease dysfunction of an organs of body. For example, we know heart will be pumping the blood. So what happened if it has some problem, that purification, the circulatory system will be affected. So that will affect the physiological conditions of our body, and that type of disease is known as physiological disease. Now we will see infectious disease. What is infectious disease? Any disease caused by the presence of pathogens or microorganisms in the body. Pathogens is microorganisms only, small organisms which we cannot able to see by naked eyes. So that is present in our body. If it cause some infection or it affect the normal condition, that disease we call it as infectious disease. Many organisms live in our body itself and they are harmless, but under certain conditions they cause diseases. What are the microorganisms? Is bacteria, virus, fungi and parasites. Bacteria are single celled microorganisms. Little higher one is virus, and yeast is an example for fungi. Parasites are actually microorganism which lives on a host. Roundworm is an example. Then infectious disease, when you take, how it is transmitted or caused is by direct contact, physical contact. That physical contact can be from person to person, animal to person, or mother to unborn child. These words you are very familiar because we are regularly seeing in the news. That is COVID-19 is due to direct contact. Next one, it is indirect contact. Indirect contact means directly we are not contacting the person who is affected. Instead, indirectly contact. For example, when a person is affected with cold or flu, sneezes or talks, some droplets of saliva or nasal secretion comes out. It can fall on some surface like table or on the armrest of the chair, or he is holding a pen on the pen and all. Then what happened? A person who doesn't know this can touch that place or the table he is keeping the hands or armrest of the chair. That microorganisms will be attached to his hand, and he will be doing something like without washing the hands, he will be touching nose or mouth or eyes. Then these microorganisms enter into us. Next one is insect bite. Insect bite means some insects will act as a carrier of this microorganism. So when it bites us, it can be transmitted to us. For example, mosquitoes, malaria, parasite and all will be transmitted by mosquito bite. The next is food contamination. Food and water are two things which we have to be very careful. If some infectious material is present, it will be called as contaminated food. And a person affected with some infectious disease is not washing the hands and or properly and serving the food or preparing the food, that infection can come into the food and it can affect a person. So that is how it is transmitted. Then types, if you take, you can say mainly three types: insect-borne disease, airborne disease, waterborne disease, based on how it is transmitted. Then these diseases doesn't have a common symptoms. What we can do is that it doesn't have a particular symptom. All the diseases have a common symptom like fever, coughing, inflammation, diarrhea, etc. Okay, thank you. We'll stop here. Next class we'll continue with some examples of insect-borne, airborne diseases. Okay, thank you.